Hello and welcome. This is Africa in 10 minutes, where we bring to you the top business news as reported on Footprint to Africa. I'm Chiamaka J. Uwadoka. First, the headlines. Federation of Women Entrepreneur Associations launches campaign to boost innovative business solutions in Africa. Ghana National Petroleum Corporation seeks investors for gas-focused company. Afreximbank hopeful of economic growth through African Continental Free Trade Agreement. And now the news in details. The Federation of Women Entrepreneurs Associations, FEWA, an organization working to ensure the realization of an enabling business environment for all women entrepreneurs, is set to host a transformative networking event, Innovative Africa, to address means through which women can progressively adopt innovation in business. Through the organization, women entrepreneurs from countries such as Kenya are working on amplifying their success in attaining revolutionary business solutions through innovation. The event, themed Breakthrough to Excellence, uncovering business opportunities that give you a competitive edge, is set to be held on the 4th of April 2018. Commenting on the upcoming event, FEWA founder and chairperson, Ms. Joanne Mwangi Yelbert, said that investing in innovation is an important change in Africa's traditional business model. Kenya has been widely recognized across the world as a hub for mobile money payments, and this exemplifies the potential Africa has in the innovative space. There is still great room to leverage innovations across all industries to maximize on our potential, she explained. Women compose just over 50% of Africa's rising population, and their inclusion in social, political, and economic spheres is critical if Africa is to reach elevated growth levels, asserted Joanne. The rallying call is now out for African women entrepreneurs to rise to the challenge of finding solutions for Africa. The networking event, to be held in Kenya's capital of Nairobi, will bring together renowned women CEOs, founders, and corporate heads who are pace-setters across Africa and beyond. Among those set to attend the breakfast event is Carol Kariuki, CEO of the Kenya Private Sector Alliance, Wandia Gichuru, Managing Director and co-founder of Vivo Activewear, and Maggie Ireri, founder and director of Tifa Research Limited, an African-based full market research company. The Ghana National Petroleum Corporation (GNPC) is seeking private investors for the Aileen Pretia Sanofi Gold Limited (PSGL), one of the inherited unprofitable entities of the oil and gas focused company, as it seeks to streamline its activities and focus on its core mandate. The prudent thing we have done is to look at the nature of the business to bring it back to some health before we sell it. All we are doing is that instead of liquidating, we want to see if we can bring PSGL back to operating level, making it attractive for a venture capitalist or investor to take it off our hands. These are the steps we are taking, Energy Minister Bwaki Ajako said on the floor of Parliament. The corporation in the interim has earmarked an amount of $24.78 million to support the company meet certain pressing liabilities. His comments follow criticism from the minority in Parliament that GNPC is veering off its core mandate, given its decision to invest in the Aileen Mining Company. According to the 2018 Program of Activities of GNPC, the breakdown of PSGL accumulated liability includes staff cost, payment to statutory bodies, local creditors, foreign creditors, bank facilities, severance packages, as well as 2017 payments and payables. PSGL employs close to 300 direct workers with an average of 1,200 dependents and 200 indirect workers and contractors. Moving on, the African Continental Free Trade Area will lead to Africa's economic development and bring about a better future for the continent, Dr. Benedict Orama, president of the Afreximbank, has said. Dr. Orama said as part of its drive to promote intra-African trade and regional integration, Afreximbank had identified several countries that served as hubs for trade among African countries. Those hubs were already playing significant roles in their sub-regions in supporting cross-border trading and were critical in the implementation of the Continental Free Trade Area, he said. They included South Africa in Southern Africa, Nigeria and Cote d'Ivoire in West Africa, Kenya in East Africa, and Egypt in North Africa. Dr. Orama said that Afreximbank was working on the establishment of export trading companies which would aggregate products from small traders for export across the continent and beyond. The operation of such companies would remove the need for individual small traders who were not equipped for such trade to try to export the products by themselves. He added that the bank had signed a $1 billion memorandum of understanding with the Export Credit Insurance Corporation of South Africa for a South Africa Trade Promotion Program aimed at expanding trade between South Africa and other African countries. A similar program which the bank signed with Egypt in the amount of $500 million was quickly exhausted and had to be replenished, he stated. Afreximbank had also introduced an African Guarantee Program to enhance the ability of African businesses to obtain trade financing. In other news, DP World has won a 30-year management and development concession for a greenfield multipurpose port in the Democratic Republic of Congo, a statement from the Dubai-owned port operator said. The company will invest an initial $350 million to construct a 600-meter quay and a 25-hectare yard extension with a container capacity of 350,000 TEUs and 1.5 million tons for general cargo. According to the statement contained in a stock exchange report, DP World will set up joint venture with DRC government to manage and invest in the Atlantic Coast port of Banana. About 70% of the joint venture will be controlled by DP World, with the government of the DRC retaining the remaining 30%, the statement added. The deal also comes with an option to extend the concession for an additional 20 years. Congo has long looked to develop a port along its less than 50 kilometers of coastline to handle larger vessels than those that reach its existing shallow ports up the Congo River. Construction is expected to start this year and take 2 years to complete. A total project cost of over $1 billion spread over 4 phases will be dependent on market demand. And finally this week, Wema Bank PLC has signed a line of credit agreements with the African Development Bank to grow financial support to small and medium-scale businesses in Nigeria. The bank confirmed that the AFDB had already disbursed the $15 million agreed with the Multilateral Development Finance Institution. The bank has also secured a $20 million LOC from the Islamic Corporation for the development of the private sector. The agreement was signed at the 3rd Africa Islamic Finance Forum. The line of credits will be channeled towards funding small and medium-scale enterprises operating in Nigeria. According to Segun Oloketiri, the managing director of Wema Bank PLC, the funds will help bolster the bank's vision of building a sustainable retail sector by supporting micro, small, and medium-scale enterprises. We believe efforts like this ultimately help to create jobs, accelerate industrialization, redistribute wealth, and fight poverty, Oloketiri said. Wema Bank, through its newly launched Alert, the first fully digital bank in Africa, will deploy the line of credit towards bolstering funding for SMEs in Nigeria. Wema Bank has continued to grow its capacity to provide solutions tailored to suit the lifestyle of its customers and is built to deliver value to all stakeholders. Last May, the bank launched Alert, a digital bank that allows you to open a fully functional account without visiting a physical branch. The bank incentivizes savings by putting a 10% interest rate on savings goal. Alert customers can also save together as a group in a model similar to the popular Ajo or Isusu. In reaching out to the unbanked and underbanked, the bank also introduced agent banking services in all regions of the country. That wraps up this week's news. Please stay tuned for a recap of the stories. Federation of Women Entrepreneur Associations launches campaign to boost innovative business solutions in Africa. Ghana National Petroleum Corporation seeks investors for gas-focused company. Afreximbank hopeful of economic growth through African Continental Free Trade Agreement. Dubai's DP World to invest over $350 million in DRC's port. And in Nigeria, Wema Bank secures $35 million from international lenders to fund SMEs. Join the conversation on social media. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and connect with us on LinkedIn. Stay updated with the trending business news in Africa. Log on to www.footprinttoafrica.com today. Footprint to Africa, business news made in Africa by Africans.